Shlomo, welcome to Spotlight. Day after day, year after year throughout history, Syriac people tried hard to maintain their place under the sun. With the holy language spoken by our Lord Jesus, strong will and great history, courageous young Syriac young men stepped forward in order to continue the march to make their nation well known and their voices heard. Today we are going to talk about the most worldwide known organization for our people, SUA, the Syriac Universal Alliance, with its president, Mr. Johny Messo, and the director of human rights, Mr. Gabriel. Welcome to Syriac, Johny and Daniel.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
We will start with you, Johny, talking about the Syriac Universal Alliance. I will say it now correctly. The SUA. What is the SUA?
The SUA, as you just said, stands for the Syriac Universal Alliance. In 1983, the Syriac Universal Alliance was established by Syriac organizations at the time in New Jersey. They were united in a worldwide umbrella organization for the Syriac Aramean people. Their main goals by then, at that time, were just to maintain the solidarity of the people and to keep the collective spirit together of our people and to maintain our identity in the diaspora, in the countries outside our home countries. So this was one of the main objectives of the people, of the persons, the architects, we could say, the founders, the founding fathers of the Syriac Universal Alliance. Another important item was to defend, protect and promote the human rights and the minority rights of our people wherever we were, in the homeland or in the diaspora. So basically, summing up what the Syriac Universal Alliance is, how it is organized, the organizational structure of the Syriac Universal Alliance is basically as follows. We have, all over the world, we have local organizations representing the local community. And these local organizations are organized or united in national federations. And these national federations, we have them, for instance, in Holland, in Germany, in Sweden, we have them in Austria, we have them in a few other countries. All these national federations are in their turn organized and united in one worldwide representative organ, which is called the Syriac Universal Alliance.
All right, we will talk more details further, but I forgot to tell our viewers that this show is a live that you can share with us with your calls. Just follow the number that you will watch on the screen. You mentioned, Johny, that you have the SUA, what we call it, the mother board or the mothership, as you were talking before the show, and then you have many federations in different countries. You mentioned some of those countries.
That's true.
Yeah. So these countries are like, you have that as a still place all the time, permanent place, or they make change? Because we heard that for many years ago it was different countries who were also under the SUA.
Yes, I can give an example, if you will. We had Lebanon. We had an organization there which was directly connected to the Syriac Universal Alliance until 4 or 5 years ago. But due to circumstances, the organization was kind of disconnected from the SUA, from the Syriac Universal Alliance. And we also had organizations in a few other countries. But we are here today talking about change, talking about new things to build up for the Syriac Universal Alliance. And it's our wish, we express here our wish to the viewers and to our people worldwide to increase, to expand the Syriac Universal Alliance. And may I add a little thing to this?
Yeah.
The Syriac Universal Alliance has, and this is actually unique among the Syriac or Aramean people, if you will, has a special consultative status at the United Nations, at the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. And this is, as I said, this is unique. This status gives us the privilege to enter into the United Nations offices in New York, in Geneva in Switzerland, and in Vienna in Austria. And there we can actually promote the rights of our people, the fundamental rights, whether they be human rights or minority rights, or social rights, cultural rights, or whether we like to develop ourselves on a social level or intellectual level or democratic level. This status, the NGO status as we call it, and my neighbor here, my fellow board member Gabriel, He is the director of the human rights on behalf of the Syriac Universal Alliance, and he is also coordinating and heading this NGO status we have.
Yeah, we'll talk more in details further in the program. Hello, Daniel. Welcome back again in the spotlight.
Thanks,
we will go back again and talk about what we finished last time, because a lot of people loved this show. And you were talking about more, Gabriel, and everybody is eager to know about it. Well, we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Let's start with your position, Director of Human Rights. Why is it important to have such a position in the SUA and the SUA?
Well, as Johnny already alluded to, it's a fundamental for our people. We, in the diaspora in particular, we look back at our homeland and we see what's going on there. We see the disadvantage that they have. We see the discrimination that they have. We see the death and the terrible state that they have faced in the past. And we, as proud Syriacs, we as proud Arameans, want to protect our people, want to build a stronger people around the world as well. So when we look in the past at the Aramean people, at the Syriac people, we see that we have faced great horrors in the past. And it's not just about our past, but it's also about the present, as we've seen with the Gabriel issue.
Right.
So the human rights position, the position that I currently hold with respect to the NGO as well, is fundamental for all of us. We all look back at our homeland, we all see what's going on there now, we all know what happened in the past, and we all want it, first of all, we want the past to be recognised, and then secondly, we want to ensure that all our people around the world are safe and that we are protected. And that's extremely important to all our people. Whoever I ask, whoever I meet, they're all so happy that the Syriac Universal Alliance is trying their best to protect our people around the world. And that's why this position is so important. I mean, one of the things that I always say to Johnny and to the fellow board members of the Syriac Universal Alliance, and I've been working in this position for many, many, many years, too many, but one of the things I always say is that this position that I currently hold, and Johnny feels the same way, is not a right just because I've been here for 10 years or whatever. It's actually a privilege for me to be here. It's an absolute privilege.
Why do you feel like that?
You get to represent your people. You get to fight for your people. You get to go to the UN. You get to...
So it's not a sacrifice?
It's
it's a privilege.
It's a privilege, it is. Even though I don't have much time, it certainly is a privilege. And
you can make it anyway.
You make time. You make time. But the point, one of the things that Johnny was also talking about is one of the reasons that we're here today, and one of the reasons that we are constantly telling people about Syriac Universal Alliance and what we're doing, is that the fundamental is that we are looking for change. Our people are looking for change. Our people are looking to the Syriac Universal Alliance and saying, well, what can you do for us? What more can you do for us? We've seen what you're doing on More Gabriel.
Yeah, but before we can talk about change, and that's a big issue, I mentioned in my, when I talked about, before meeting you, that our people tried all the time working hard, to try to maintain their place under the sun, to let people know who we are as Syriacs, in order to make people hear us, that we are heard. Why is it important that we only cannot say that I want to work for my people, but you have to put it in a frame, that you have to build up organizations so that you have a track where to put your steps?
Yeah.
Isn't it important?
Absolutely. Excuse me. One of the, I mean, as Johnny was again saying, this is an organisation which was formed in 1983. You know, the organisation